Woo! What's going on, guys? Ormsform coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be diving into day 3 of Lions training camp. I know I missed day 2 yesterday. I had family emergency that I had to attend right away. It was a false alarm though. But I just couldn't get the video done. I had to cancel OPP, One Pride Podcast, and I had to cancel Lions Nation Unite with Micro Mike and all that. And I had to do something, family emergency. And I will get into that later on down the road, guys. But right now it's a bit of a problem, but we're going to get past this. We're going to get past this. But we are here to report some Detroit Lions news, and it's day 3, happened today. And here's some reports out of today's camp. Thanks to guys like Eric Schlitt, Tim Twentyman, Jeremy Reisman, Mike O'Hara, and Jeff Risden. Today, Goff looked sharp for most of the day, looking good in the red zone, especially Josh Reynolds and DJ Chark getting in on the action as well, with some catches over the middle. He did throw an interception to A.J. Parker, though, in a 2-minute drill, but he looked pretty good on day 3. Let's go to the next page. Then tight ends, man. Hawk is clearly the number 1 guy. That's not a big secret in Detroit. But after that, man, we can flip a coin right now. But there is a couple guys sticking out, especially one guy, and the guy that I like a lot. Now, rookie James Mitchell, he's still rehabbing the ACL that he had last year. He's not put on the PUP list. He's not on the NFI list or anything like that. So he's not designated or anything. He's just not. I don't think he's practicing. He's just not practicing. So how they define that, I don't know. But he's not out there. He's still rehabbing. So, but the guys that are sticking out, and it's a guy that I was kind of worried about at the beginning of the year when they picked him up as a UDFA, was Derek Deese Jr. He's sticking out like a sore thumb. Stuck out on day 3, and Shane Zylstra has been pretty much on fire since camp, since those little OTAs, those other little mini camps that they had. Apparently there was 3 touchdown grabs by each player, Deese and Zylstra. I did see another site where they said that they only had 2 each, but I did see more than one site that said they had 3 each. So whoever's right, whoever's wrong, it doesn't really matter. They got in the end zone multiple times. And I'm telling you, I like the Shane Zylstra pickup they had last year. That kid was an absolute animal in college. Played out of a smaller school, though. He was a wide receiver, Shane Zylstra. His brother's in the NFL. He played in the CFL. His brother, I think, is mainly a kick returner, punt returner for the Carolina Panthers. Might have caught some balls last year. But Shane Zylstra is the better player than his brother. And this kid's going to get an opportunity here, I think. Now, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I really like Shane Zylstra, and I think if they get rid of him, it's going to come bite him in the butt. I really do. I think he's the guy that can step in. And it was a very competitive day 3, but still no pads. You know, practices are like 90 minutes long or something like that. Can't hit just yet. Next week we'll get into that. Now the cornerback situation, Will Harris made back-to-back pass breakups on Josh Reynolds and TJ Hawkinson. I believe that was in the 2-minute drill. And the Detroit Lions as a whole, like Aaron Glenn, Aubrey Pleasant, Dan Campbell, they love Harris's size and athleticism out wide. They just think that he's the prototypical size and athlete to play outside corner. Like we all know about the situation with Harris, moving from safety to corner, and he's living in that cornerback room now. Now Goff did throw a dime over. It was the throw of the day. He had a dime over-the-shoulder pass to Swift for a touchdown in the corner end zone. Chris Board, the linebacker, was in coverage. Perfect touch, beautiful throw. Swift knowing where to put his feet, landed in the end zone. It was just a perfect throw and catch. Perfect throw and catch. And there's a video out there on Twitter. Go check it out. Then some undrafted free agent news. Corey Sutton, the wide receiver, made a nice sliding. This was the catch of the day. Made a really nice sliding catch coming from David Blau in the end zone. Melifonu with really tight coverage. It was great coverage, but Sutton got under the ball and slid and made the touchdown catch. It was just a beautiful just a beautiful play. And it looked really good for Corey Sutton, who is a bubble player, by the way. A guy that was undrafted. These guys got to make themselves known by making plays like this, and that's nice. Hutchinson, we can't go without talking about our number 2 overall pick. Aiden Hutchinson had 2 straight plays, not just being a pass rusher like everybody thinks that he just is. Not everybody, but there's quite a bit of people that think that he can only do one thing. He was setting the edge very nice on a fake pass, and then set it with authority, by the way. And he was a big play, part of a big play, smothering the run play on the very next play. So setting the edge, playing the run, stuff that we know he can do. Just looking like the number 2 overall pick so far, and it's early. Don Malbach, you know who Don Malbach is. Long snapper here for the Detroit Lions. I think he's the second longest tenure to ever don Honolulu blue and silver. I think he's the second to Jason Hansen. Pretty sure. But he was mentoring our long snapper, Scott Daly, showing him cut-ups on the big board. They have a giant big board on the field at Allen Park. And just going through the big board, showing some cut-ups, showing some plays that happen on the field, and teaching him some blocking, and just going over some blocking techniques with him. It's very nice to see. Malbach is now a special assistant to football operations, and once a football, always a football player. Getting down on the field and mixing it up with the boys, I like that too. Then Amon-Ra St. Brown, I guess, had a nice touchdown catch too, and he celebrated by acting like a surfer popping up, sticking out his arms, and playing the role. He was asked, I guess, if he was a surfer because he went to USC, and he said he did it one time or something like that. But it's nice to see guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy that takes it dead serious. This sport, he's a consummate, absolute professional, but he can have fun as well too. This is a guy that they're going to have to build this team around a guy like this, just because of his character, his work ethic, and all the above. Now the defense got in on the fun too a little bit. It wasn't just all offense. Newly acquired safety Deshaun Elliott had a nice pass breakup. But the reserves on offense are way ahead of the backups on defense, though. It's clear. And I think that's going to be, usually that's kind of the case. The offense is a little bit ahead. In my opinion, I always think the offense is a little bit ahead than the defense. I think in overall general, that's just what it is. But that's okay. The backups are backups. We'll see what goes from there. But more Demetrius Taylor news too. Another undrafted free agent, defensive tackle, nose tackle, whatever you want to call him. He's a defensive tackle. He's an undersized pass rushing defensive tackle, by the way. Had a beautiful sack with an under and up move. Don't know who it was against. And then linebacker Derek Barnes had a real nice, well-executed A-gap blitz and broke up the play. But overall, the wide receivers and tight ends consistently come out on top with in the backup department. So we'll see what happens next, man. Tomorrow we can hear a whole different story that the defense completely took over. It's just, it's day to day. Then a lot of pre-snap chatter going on, I guess, when the offense and defenses are on the field, especially between guys like cornerback Will Harris, safety Deshaun Elliott, and Tracy Walker, even Alex Anzalone and Chris Board getting in on it too and reacting to it in a positive way. So that's good that these guys are communicating. It's all about communicating. This is something like this team lacked for the last, I don't know how many years here. You never seen any movement. You never seen any chatter from anybody, it seemed like, offensive and defensively. So this is really good news. Communication is key in football. You have to tell. Some guys see things quicker than others. And that's why they wear the green dot, or that's why they're the captains, or whatever you want to call it. And they decipher plays and they tell you where to be. They guys like Ray Lewis used to guess where the play was, but meanwhile, it's not really a guess. It's he's a film studier. He knows football, and he puts guys in position. So this is good that these guys are doing that. You want to hear that. And all 32 teams do this. This is not anything new, obviously, but it's nice to hear that the Lions are communicating in a positive way right here. Then the offense did sputter a bit, though, so it wasn't all just, rainbows and unicorns for the offense. During a 2-minute drill, the short completions that did nothing, short of the sticks, short completions that just didn't do anything positive. And Goff missing Swift on a pass, but linebacker Chris Board with really nice coverage. So it's really good it's really good to hear stuff like that. Now, more pressure was added to Jared Goff on day 3 too as well, making Jared Goff kind of throw the ball away, I guess, more times than he really wanted to, showing not really frustration on the field, but he was agitated a bit. So the defense got the best of him a little bit during day 3. Then we seen Brock Wright out there. Brock Wright, he's probably tight end number 2 as of right now. With guys like Shane Zylstra and I don't know, maybe possibly Derek Dees breathing down his throat, and who knows what's going on with James Mitchell right now. But he didn't see a lot of action out of being a wide receiver, but he had a really, really nice block to spring running back Craig Reynolds for a nice touchdown run. Craig Reynolds getting in the end zone is a good sign too. Then another undrafted free agent tight end, Nolan Givens, had another rough day. He went from dropping a couple passes yesterday to having a really bad illegally blocking in the back play, called back that negated a nice boil to Raymond on a nice catch and run. Comes back, lose yards. Reynolds manhandled Given on a special teams drill as well too. Nolan Givens is an undrafted free agent guy that is not going to make this team. I will guarantee you that right now. Not throwing any shade on Nolan Given, but he is not going to make this Lions football team. Then we had a couple of guys hurt. I think this happened yesterday, but I'm talking about it now. So I guess you are getting a little bit of day 2 reports. Devin Funches, the wide receiver that we picked up, played for Green Bay, played for San Francisco, drafted by Carolina, did a few years in Carolina, had like one nice year in Carolina, turned into a tight end now. Everybody thinks he's going to be this really special player in Detroit because he went to Michigan, because he's a Michigan guy. Now he's coming back home, And I'm not throwing any shade on Devin Funches either, but this guy was a guy that was on the bubble looking into the room with a pair of binoculars, okay? With a pair of binoculars. Not really having I don't think he has a shot to make this team. I really don't. I don't think he's making this team unless he completely goes ballistic and just turns heads, and you just can't stop looking at him. I just don't think it's going to happen. He's just a guy that's in a pretty, it's not a great room. It's TJ Hawkinson, clear number 1, and then a couple other good guys. But there's guys stepping up. There are guys like Shane Zylstra stepping up who can do everything I think Devin Funches can do at this point in his career. Devin Funches had an okay 1 year in Carolina as a wide receiver. But it's a guy that has a huge problem with drops, can't block, and he's just on the outside looking in. It's not hate, it's not anything like that. It's realism, and a lot of this fan base hates to hear it. They hate to hear it. How could you ever say anything bad about a Detroit Lion player, especially Devin Funches because he went to Michigan? Sorry, I'm not gonna down the Honolulu blue and silver Kool-Aid, man, for Devin Funches. I hope it'd be nice if he can turn his whole career around. Let's go. But he's on the outside looking in. He's already hurt now. He's got a little bit of a groin injury apparently. Didn't seem that serious, but he is hurt. And then we had another injury, undrafted free agent Greg Bell, the running back. He's got a back and hip injury. At first, I think people thought it was a hamstring because he clutched his leg, but it's a back and hip. So they're both sidelined. Funches was in attendance today for day 3, but in street clothes, and Bell was not. He's probably rehabbing his back and his hip, probably in the building doing something. Then safety C.J. Moore is still on the PUP list, physically unable to perform, but he was doing warm-up drills and working hard with trainers to the side. Good sign. And I guess Devin Funches was too, working hard with the trainers on the side too, so that's a good sign too. 6th-round rookie, defensive end, linebacker, James Houston is too quick off the line for these reserve offensive tackles. He schooled Matt Nelson and schooled Obina Eze. That's the second time that I know of that he has schooled Eze. That's the second time he did that back in rookie minicamp, I believe, too. So, good on James Houston. Let's see where that brings it. And then I guess former Lions quarterback Mike McMahon was in the house. If you don't know who that is, man, Google it. He was our quarterback for a little bit, man. Just hell of an athlete, but just a train wreck of a quarterback. He stopped by in the media room. He's wearing a Detroit versus everybody hat. So good to see Mike in the building, man. He was a great athlete, but he was a bad quarterback. He was just really bad. He was like a 5th, 6th. Did Millen draft him? I don't remember if it was Millen. I think it was, but he was awful. He was awful. But he was a great athlete. He was just a fantastic athlete. And then happy birthday to Brad Holmes. He turns 43. He turns 43 today. Happy birthday, Brad Holmes. The boys sang happy birthday to you, and that's how it ended practice. I guess linebacker Natrez Patrick was released. I guess he's back. He was hurt though. He was either I think he was on the NFI list, non-football injury list. But he's released, and then they signed back Darren Paulo. He was with the team last year. He played for the Broncos, offensive tackle, I believe. Didn't get a lot of playing time, but he's back on the team. And then the competition is legit between Will Harris and Jeff Okudah. They are feeding off each other right now, and that's a good sign. It's great to have competition. We need someone to step up and take that number 2 spot. Either Will Harris or Jeff Okudah or Jerry Jacobs when he comes back. Somebody needs to step up and take it. Craig Reynolds is really starting to run away with the running back 3 role. I made this call months ago that I thought he was going to beat out Jamar Jefferson. And again, not throwing shade completely on Jamar Jefferson. I just think Craig Reynolds came in last year, and I think he just outshined him. He outperformed him. It seems like Jamar Jefferson is the type of guy that I've been hearing that he's having trouble with the playbook. He's having trouble with techniques. He's just having overall a tough time right now. He could be a guy that gets tossed, believe it or not. And I like him. I like him as a running back. But I guess he's struggling right now. And it looks like Craig Reynolds has a lock on that RB3 role right now. So good for Craig Reynolds. Sad for Jamar Jefferson, but that's football. But Craig Reynolds got that burst out there. He found the end zone again today, so that's positive. More undrafted free agent news. Really hitting on those today. Wide receiver Josh Johnson beat another undrafted free agent cornerback, Cedric Boswell, who I think had a decent first day, for a score, so that's good to hear. And then at the end of the day, Jonah Jackson was getting some work at center. This is nothing new too. They were doing this during OTAs and minicamp. Experimentation, this is all this is. And then they have Penei Sewell at left tackle, and they had Matt Nelson at right tackle. So they're just experimenting. It happened late in practice, final team reps. It's called, let's see what we got. That's pretty much what it is. Let's just see what we got. Let's throw them in a different role. See how they handle it. See how they handle adversity. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with depth. Jonah Jackson said it too. It's depth. That's all this is. Next man up mentality. Ragnow goes down. Jonah Jackson plays center. Then you got to find a guard. Then you got to go find another guard though. You know what I mean? It's either Kevin Jarvis, Logan Stenberg. Who's it going to be? Right? So nothing wrong with experimentation. Anyways, Isaiah Buggs, the newly acquired nose tackle that they picked up, looks like he's the number 2 nose tackle behind McNeil right now. Jashawn Cornell working between the 3 tech, the 4I, and the 5 tech. 3 tech is more natural for Cornell, but he looked comfortable in the 5 tech. You got to remember with Sean Cornell, he was a defensive end at Ohio State. He played defensive end at Ohio State and had a decent last year at Ohio State. Nothing to scream home about, but he's a guy that's been like He's been answering the bell when called upon. He's had some rough couple years in the NFL with injuries, drug suspensions. Now it looks like he's kind of like, he's taking this serious. He's been killing it at camp. Those mini camps and OTAs. Haven't heard a lot about him yet on training camp, but he's looking comfortable out there. So we could be looking at our fourth, probably defensive tackle / DN coming off the bench. He's probably going to make this team, Deshaun Cornell. I kind of hope he does because he's playing well, and you have to award those guys that play well. The newly acquired defensive end, John Kaminsky, the guy they picked up from Atlanta. He's been pretty much mirroring Aiden Hutchinson out there, playing him on the edge, obviously, and at the 3-tech, second and third teams. Charles Harris, looking sharp. He's getting a lot of one-on-ones. He beat Decker easily on 1 rep. Harris getting those one-on-ones because the D-line has improved. The D-line has improved, and you can't double-team everybody. Harris was one of the best players last year being double-teamed. I think there was a stat. My buddy was telling me a stat last year. That Charles Harris was one of the best defensive ends / linebackers, whatever he was one of the better defenders while being double-teamed last year. And if he's going to get one-on-ones, I'm telling you right now, I called it. I've been calling it on podcasts and videos. Charles Harris is going to have a Pro Bowl year, if not All-Pro. All-Pro is a little bit tricky because there's so many damn good defensive ends, but he's going to get over it. He's going to get 10 plus sacks. I'm calling it now. I'm telling you right now. This is going to help him a lot. Then Houston stayed after practice for James Houston, the 6th-round rookie, doing some bag work with Charles Harris as well. So that's a good sign. Anthony Pittman, the linebacker, the homegrown product from Wayne State, continues to rise. His range of positions is very impressive, I guess. He's taken reps at both the edge rusher spots, at the Mike linebacker spot, and the Will linebacker spot, and is killing it on special teams. So another guy to look out for. He's taken notice. People are noticing him. I thought of a guy that would be in the bubble, but it sounds like right now he's probably going to make this team. It is early, but man, it's a good sign. And then Malcolm Rodriguez, our 6th-round rookie that we drafted at Oklahoma State, was repping with the 2nd and 3rd teams. I like it a lot. Getting that bump up to the 2nd team, showing range and fill gaps, and running well with the running backs coming out of the backfield. So that's what you want to hear. Him and Chris Board actually stayed after practice to work on shedding drills on a blocking sled. On that blocking sled. So that's a good sign too. That's completely noticed by coaches when players do that. Then Mike Hughes had a pick. Savion Smith deflected it. I don't know who it was. I think it was Boyle or Blau. It wasn't Goff. Then 7th-round rookie cornerback Chase Lucas, running with the 2nd team at that nickel slot. He looked comfortable. He didn't make any outstanding plays, but he looked very comfortable doing it. He did give up a touchdown to DeAndre Swift, though. But I think DeAndre Swift literally lived in the end zone on day 3. All I heard was how many he's scoring touchdown after touchdown. So Lions looking for that CB4, that cornerback 4. Looks like it's a race between Savion Smith, Bobby Price, and Mark Gilbert right now. They're the guys getting the look. So if I was to pick anybody out of here right now, I really like Savion Smith. It's an Alabama kid. I think he was either a UDFA by this team last year. I don't know if he's a UDFA. You guys want to tell me in the chat or in the comments? But I like him. I like him, man. He went to Alabama. I'm pretty sure it's a kid that went to Alabama. And nothing against Bobby Price and Mark Gilbert, but I think Savion Smith has more of the inside track. And then Kirby Joseph with the bump up to the 2nd team. Melifonu gets demoted to the 3rd team. It's just for day 3. Again, it's not in stone, but this is what's going to happen. They want to see how these guys handle better competition. And we have to see what we got at Kirby Joseph. He was a 3rd-round pick. You have to see what you're getting him. So I like this, day 3. Didn't really hear too much info about it, about what Kirby Joseph did or didn't do, but he was on the 2nd unit. Jack Fox was booming the punts today too. distance and hang time, showing why everybody's a Pro Bowler. And then right now it looks like it's Khalif Raymond and Khalil Pippenton looking like the only ones right now to be the kick returners. You know, there's an occasional Amon-Ra St. Brown sighting who takes an occasional rep. But it looks like it's between Raymond and Pimpleton. Can Pimpleton make this team? There's a possibility he makes this team. Imagine if he does. Who's gone as a wide receiver? That's a whole other video. Who's gone as a wide receiver if Pimpleton makes this team? Because they can't keep 7 wide receivers. Can they? That'd be a little bit crazy. In the gunner role, more special teams news. Bobby Price and Melifonwu were the top pair in that one in the gunner role. And then Trinity Benson and A.J. Parker on the number 2 unit. And then Chase Lucas and Jeff Okuda on the 3rd team as that gunner. And then guys like Pittman, Houston, Anthony Pittman, James Houston, Derek Barnes, and Godwin Igwebuike stood out on special teams overall for day 3. So that's good for Godwin Igwebuike, a guy that could not hold on to the football to save his life last year. And then last but not least, I save it again, and I probably should have said it at the beginning of the video. Joshua Paschal, sports hernia, groin. Surgery, out for 3 months. Now, this is nightmarish, to tell you the truth. So I don't think I'm crazy now, because I knew they kind of hid something. Because he had surgery in the spring, and nobody talked about it. It was completely hidden. How it didn't leak out is... There's got to be some type of really good trust thing going on over there in Detroit Lions headquarters. Because, guys, he's a second-round pick. And he had surgery. Now, he's out for 3 months. They said 12 weeks. That's 3 months. So he's going to miss all of training camp. Is there a chance he misses week? He's going to, if he misses all of training camp, he's 100% missing week 1 and week 2. I don't know if they'll put him on IR. If they put him on PUP, he's going to have to miss 4 games automatically. And then have a possibility to come back in week 5. But they'll probably keep him out for 5 weeks because we have a bye in week 6. But this is big news. This is a nightmare. Potentially could be a nightmare. Like I said, I thought the pick was a good player, but I thought they reached a little bit for him. But now there's the guy that's going to miss all of training camp. This kid's going to be way behind. You can almost kiss 2022 for him. Gone. It's Levi on Woooooooooooo all over again. Woooooooooooo missed what? He missed a handful of games last year. Did he miss 10? I think he missed 9 or 10 games. It felt like he missed that much. He was behind the 8 ball. He was behind in the playbook. He was behind everything. This has got those kind of vibes. Now, that's fine, man. You drafted this is, like I said before, this is not a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So, but it scares me. A sports hernia is nothing to joke around about. I didn't even know it was that. I was hoping it was going to be a calf or a quad. I was like, okay, if it's a quad, it's not bad. If it's a calf, it might linger a little bit because they're constantly pressuring because the calf is a smaller muscle, no matter how big you are of a human being. It's still a small muscle, and you're a heavy man pushing against you. So he's got that going against him now with a sports hernia in a groin. I just hope it doesn't linger. But in my opinion, 2022 is a wash for Joshua Paschal. 2023 is going to be the time. Maybe he gets in. Maybe he's I think he's going to play this year, but it probably won't be till week 7, week 8. So somebody even mentioned this. Somebody even mentioned this on Facebook in one of the Detroit Lions groups that I mentioned. I was like, who told you it was going to be that he was going to be out for 3 months? This was 2 days ago or yesterday. I don't even know that. It was before I knew that he had a sports hernia. The guy's like, I had it before, man. He's like, I had it. He's like, I'm telling you right now, it's not an easy bounce back. So Godspeed for Joshua Paschal. You know, they put him in your positive vibes, prayers, whatever you do, and I hope he comes back stronger than ever. But he's got it going against him now, man. He's got it going against him, and we'll see what happens from there. But that's it, guys. That's the video. It's a long one. It's a day 3 observation. If you want to see day 2, let me know. But I might skip it. I have it all written out though, but I'm living in the now. But if you really want to see it, let me know. But thanks for the video, guys. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get all my videos on top. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment. And we can talk about it, man. Talk about the day 3 reports. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to see more of? Go Lions. Boom. Bam. One pride, baby. Let's go.